Hello fans, we're here with VMI swimming and diving coach Bill Nicholson and ready to discuss the season that just got underway this past weekend. And coach, the team just got back from the trip to NC State, so what can you tell us about that trip?
It was we set that meet up to kind of put a team on our schedule that's better than what we would see at our conference meet. And they have a great program there, and we came to the meet with 21 swimmers, and 19 of them were freshmen and sophomores. And I felt like we swam very well for what we're able to do at this point in the season. And smart racing and hard racing, and a lot of the kids were either beating their times from championships last year or right on them. And so we're a young team, but I think there's a lot of maturity when it comes to being a competitive swimmer. So I'm hopeful about what we're able to take from that meet and bring it forward to the other meets we have coming up.
You mentioned the overall youth of the team. 19 freshmen went to the meet this past weekend. What can you tell us about the mindset of both the men and women programs? These are swimmers with a pretty extensive competitive background, most of them, and so they bring a level of maturity to the table that you see in practice on a day-to-day basis, and you see at meets when it's time to get up in the blocks and race people. The youth doesn't really change our approach. It's about setting goals for what they're capable of doing at whatever stage in their career they are, and then making sure that we're training them properly and giving them the tools to be able to reach those goals at the end of the season. And when it comes to focus and effort on a day-to-day basis, from our seniors all the way down to our freshmen, they're bringing it to practice every day. So it's a pretty accomplished group of people we got that joined up with us this year. Good to hear that.
Yeah. It's been really good so far this season. The best it's ever been since I've been here, I think, in my opinion.
Okay. Are there any, out of this long list of freshmen, are there any that we in particular should watch out for?
I think they're all capable of doing something spectacular at the end of the season. I think that the top guys coming in right now are Kodiak Bowers, who swims middle distance freestyle for us. Ian Morales, who does backstroke, IM sprint. He's a lot like James Goodwill. You can put him in pretty much any race, and he's going to be a competitor in it. And I'm trying to think who else.
Jack Sullivan had some good results.
Jack Sullivan had some good results, and he's somebody who's going to improve a lot during the season. I think you're going to see him. He's sitting outside of those top guys in the conference right now, but the way he's training and just the way you see him swim his races, I think when he's rested and shaved down and tapered and ready to go at the end of the year, I think he's going to be somebody. He's a dark horse in those butterfly events, I think. So and we have a lot of guys who nobody's even looking at, who you can see occasionally either in practice or when you're watching them swim races this past weekend. You see glimpses of what they're capable of doing, and if they continue on the track they're on right now, I think that we may surprise some people at the end of the season. I'm very hopeful about what this team's capable of doing once.
In addition to the freshmen you've got, certainly you returned some talent. James Goodwill you mentioned, and your two seniors, Jeff Cote and Jeter. What can you tell us about them?
James last year, first half of the season, first semester, he was dealing with an elbow injury. And it's easy to forget because James isn't one to complain about something like that. He'll swim through it. But it was definitely affecting his training, and as a result, it was affecting his racing in the first half of the season. When he got a chance to take a breather during Christmas break for 2 weeks, he came back, and we really got to see over the last 6 weeks of the season what James is capable of doing. And so the times he put up at championships last year were really based off of a month and a half of practice at full capacity. And this season, we're 6 weeks in, and he's already training probably past what he was doing last year. And I think he has some definite goals in mind for what he wants to do at the end of the season. And he looks dangerous right now in practice, and I have a feeling that when we get to the conference championship meet, he's going to blow away those times that he put up on up at the blocks last year. I think he any drill work we're doing, any kind of corrections that we're trying to make on his stroke to try to improve efficiency in the water, he's applying those during practice, and the level that of intensity he brings to the sets is hard to match. There's only a couple guys on the team that can bring it the way he does every day. And you know, I felt from day one when he walked in here that he's the best swimmer this program has ever had, and I think that we're really going to see what he's capable of doing this year. I think he's going to, we're going to go down to Athens, Georgia. I think he's going to tear the place up. So I'm excited. He looks fantastic in the water.
Excellent. With having such a young team, what do the two seniors, Jeff Cote and Jeter, what do they need to do in terms of leadership? What do they bring?
The most important thing for those guys, and again, we don't want to get away from what they're trying to accomplish as individual athletes. And so, you know, I constantly remind them, you know, make sure that you remember what you're trying to do this season. But here at VMI, and I think they're doing a really good job of this, is making the new kids understand that being a rat and being in the rat line, you have to take care of that stuff. You have to do that stuff right. And if you do that stuff right, then things are going to work in the pool, and they're going to work in the classroom. And I've seen those guys pull, you know, the freshmen off to the side and give them advice or a kick in the butt if they need it, and not really showing them how to work this system, but showing them how to do things right. And what I tell the rats when they come in here is, as long as you're honest and you try your best, you got nothing to worry about. And I think that's what the captains are reinforcing, is just saying that, you know, you give it your best effort and just be honest about what you're doing, and things will work out up on the hill. And I think there's a carryover. I think that effort and that honesty is brought into practice, and about how they analyze where they are with their swimming. And so, you know, I think there's a direct correlation. So I think when we're doing well in the pool, I get a feeling that in general we're doing well in the classroom, and we're doing well when it comes to the military lifestyle and what goes on up in the hill. And so I think captains have done a great job, I think, so far. And they're swimming well too. And I think Josh and Andy have been the best captains we've had since probably 2006, I think, when we had Bart Payne and Dane Ells and Dave Rawl, and you know, led the team to the NEC championship in that year. I think that Josh and Andy are doing right by the young guys on the team, no doubt about it.